Welcome students. Today we are going to learn the topic issue of shares. In this topic you are supposed to pass journal entries. Till now you have learned topics relating to partnership accounts such as admission, retirement, death. But today's topic issue of share comes under company account. So let us begin our topic. Students, you have learned the basic entries relating to issue of shares. Today, we are going to learn the same entries with different possibilities involved in issue of share topic, such as oversubscription. In oversubscription, we have excess application rejected and pro rata allotment. Second, call money not paid. Third, forfeiture of shares. Fourth, reissue of forfeited shares. Today, we are going to concentrate our journal entries on oversubscription, call money not paid, forfeiture of shares, and reissue of forfeited shares. When you are solving the problem, you have to note down the following points. First, number of shares issued by the company. Second, number of applications received from the public. Third, number of applications rejected by the company. Fourth, number of shares allotted to the applicants on pro rata basis. Fifth, number of shares not paid calls. Sixth, number of shares forfeited. Seventh, number of shares forfeited reissued. On the basis of above points, you will pass journal entries and calculate the amount of each entry. When new shares are issued by a company, then the per unit value of each share is collected in 4 stages and not in one attempt. These stages are application, allotment, first call, second and final call. In every stage, there are 2 journal entries. In case of application, in the first entry, share application account is credited. In the second entry, share application account is debited and the amount of share application account in both the entries will remain same. In case of allotment, in first entry, share allotment account is debited. In the second entry, share allotment account is credited and the amount of share allotment account in both the entries will remain same. In first call, share first call account is debited in the first entry. Share first call account is credited in the second entry and the amount of share first call account in both the entries will remain same. Similarly, in case of second and final call, share second and final call account is debited in the first entry. Share second and final call account is credited in the second entry and the amount of share second and final call account in both the entries will remain same. So students, you have to remember this logic. Now, let us see the entries. First entry goes this way. Company issues or offers share to the public. Applies for shares. Company receives application along with application money. So our first transaction is receipt of share application money. Entry is bank account debit to share application account. Amount will be calculated as Number of application received multiplied by application amount. Narration. Being application money on dash shares at rupees dash per share received. Share application money is transferred to share capital. So our next transaction is transfer of application money to share capital. Entries. Share application account debit. Here, share application account is debited. If you can see in our first entry, share application account is credited. So by whatever amount share application account is credited over here, with the same amount share application account will be debited in our second entry. Share application amount is transferred to share capital. So share capital account is credited. Amount will be calculated as number of shares issued multiplied by application amount. Here, bank account is credited. Bank account in this entry will come when excess application is rejected and the amount is refunded by the company. So, bank account is credited. Amount will be calculated as excess application rejected multiplied by application amount. In this entry, share allotment in advance account is also credited. Students, when other excess application which are not rejected, their application amount is treated as allotment money received in advance, which is known as pro rata allotment. So, share allotment in advance account will be credited and the amount will be calculated as other excess application not rejected multiplied by application amount. I will again repeat the entry. Share application account debit to share capital account to bank account to share allotment in advance account. The entry which we have learned now is the entry, or it is a case of oversubscription in which excess application are rejected and money is refunded, and other excess application which are not rejected are treated as allotment money received in advance, that is pro rata allotment. Narration. Being application money transferred to share capital account, excess application rejected and money refunded, and other excess application not rejected adjusted against share allotment in advance account. Now, the allotment of shares will be done and the letter of allotment money due is sent to the shareholders. So, next transaction is share allotment due. Entry. Share allotment account debit to share capital account to share premium account. Share premium account will be credited in this entry if share allotment due is collected along with the share premium. Share allotment account amount will be calculated as number of shares issued multiplied by allotment amount. Share capital amount will be calculated as number of shares issued multiplied by allotment amount excluding premium. Share premium amount will be calculated as number of shares issued multiplied by share premium amount. Narration. Being allotment money on dash shares at rupees dash per share due. Allotment money is received by the company. So our fourth transaction is allotment money received. Entries. Bank account debit, share allotment in advance account debit to share allotment account. In this entry, if you can see, share allotment in advance account is debited, whereas In our second entry, share allotment in advance account is credited. So by whatever amount share allotment in advance account is credited in our second entry, with the same amount share allotment in advance account will be debited in our recent entry, that is in our fourth entry. So here the amount of share allotment in advance will be same as it was in our second entry. Then next is share allotment account. Here share allotment account is credited, but if you can see in our third entry, share allotment account is debited. So by whatever amount share allotment account is debited over here, with the same amount share allotment account will be credited in our fourth entry. Then bank amount. Bank amount will be the difference of share allotment amount and share allotment in advance amount. That is, from share allotment amount you will subtract share allotment in advance amount, you will get bank amount, that is the balancing figure. I will again repeat this entry. Bank account debit, share allotment in advance account debit to share allotment account. The same entry you can also pass as bank account debit to share allotment account as it is given in our government textbook. Narration: being share allotment money received after adjusting excess application money. Now, call letter will be sent to shareholders for call money. So, our transaction is first call due. Entries: share first call account debit to share capital account. Amount will be calculated as number of shares issued multiplied by first call amount. Being share first call money on dash shares at rupees dash per share due. Call money will be received by the company. So, our transaction is first call money received. Entries: bank account debit, calls in arrears account debit to share first call account. Here, share first call account is credited, whereas if you can see in our fifth entry, share first call account is debited. So by whatever amount share first call account is debited over here, with the same amount share first call account will be credited in our sixth entry. Then calls in arrears. First let us understand what do you mean by calls in arrears. Calls in arrears means the shareholders have not paid the call amount on shares held by them. The unpaid amount is called calls in arrears. Amount will be calculated as number of shares not paid call amount multiplied by first call amount. Bank account amount will be calculated as number of shares paid the call multiplied by first call amount. Bank account amount you can also calculate by taking the difference of share first call amount and calls in arrears amount, that is from share first call amount subtract calls in arrears amount, you will get bank amount, that is the balancing figure. Narration: being share first call money on dash shares at rupees dash per share received. Now share second call money is due. So our transaction is second and final call due. Entries: share second and final call account debit to share capital account. Amount will be calculated as number of shares issued multiplied by second call amount. Narration: being share second and final call money on dash shares at rupees dash per share due. Call money will be received by the company. So our next transaction is second and final call money received. Entries bank account debit, calls in arrears account debit to share second and final call account. Here, share second and final call account is credited, whereas in our seventh entry, share second and final call account is debited. So by whatever amount share second and final call account is debited over here, with the same amount share second and final call account will be credited in our 8th entry. Then calls in arrears account, amount will be calculated as number of shares not paid call amount multiplied by second call amount. Bank account amount will be calculated as number of shares paid the call multiplied by second call amount, or you can also calculate bank account amount by taking the difference of share second and final call amount and calls in arrears amount. That is, from share second and final call amount subtract calls in arrears amount, you will get bank account amount, that is the balancing figure. Narration: being share second and final call money on dash shares at rupees dash per share received. Students, in the entry number 6 and number 8, we have calls in arrears account where shareholders have failed to pay the call money. In that case, company sends reminders to the shareholders to make the payment of calls in arrears. If shareholders does not respond to reminders and fails to pay call money, the directors can forfeit his shares. Forfeit means cancellation of shareholdership. That is, he is no more shareholder of the company. So now we will see the forfeiture entry. Our transaction is forfeiture of shares. Entries: share capital account debit to share forfeiture account to calls in arrears account. Share capital account amount will be calculated as number of shares forfeited multiplied by face value or called up value. Here you have to take the value depending upon your problem. Share forfeiture account amount will be calculated as number of shares forfeited multiplied by amount of shares paid so far. Calls in arrears amount will be calculated as number of shares forfeited multiplied by unpaid call amount. You can also calculate calls in arrears amount by adding first and second calls in arrears amount. Narration: being shares forfeited due to non-payment of call money. Company can reissue the forfeited shares. So our next transaction is reissue of forfeited shares. Entries: bank account debit, share forfeiture account debit to share capital account. Bank account amount will be calculated as number of shares reissued multiplied by reissue price. Share forfeiture account amount will be calculated as number of shares reissued multiplied by loss per share. Share capital amount will be calculated as number of shares reissued multiplied by face value or called up value. Here you have to take the value depending upon your problem. Narration: being forfeited shares reissued. Now the profit on reissued shares is transferred to capital reserve. So our next transaction is profit on reissued share transferred to capital reserve account. And our last entry is share forfeiture account debit to capital reserve account. Students, here, if all the forfeited shares are reissued, then the amount in capital reserve will be the difference of share forfeiture account on the credit side of our ninth entry and share forfeiture account debit side of our 10th entry. In short, the balance in share forfeiture account is transferred to capital reserve account. Narration: being profit on reissued shares transferred to capital reserve account. So students, we have done for the day. You have to write and practice these entries which will help you in solving the problems on issue of shares. Thank you.